Never thought I'd find myself in a horror movie, but here I am. It all started when I decided to take a weekend trip to a secluded hotel nestled in the woods. I arrived in the late afternoon and was immediately struck by the eerie silence that hung in the air. The receptionist, a middle-aged woman with a kind smile, checked me in and showed me to my room. As I settled in, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I brushed it off as my imagination running wild, but as the sun began to set, I heard a strange noise coming from outside my window. It sounded like footsteps, but they were too heavy and deliberate to be just a stray animal. I tried to convince myself that it was just the wind, but the noise grew louder and more menacing. I hesitated for a moment, then mustered the courage to open the window. What I saw made my blood run cold. A man, dressed in all black and wearing a mask, stood outside my window. His eyes were cold and calculating, and I could see the glint of a knife in his hand. I screamed and slammed the window shut, but it was too late. The man had already seen me. I spent the rest of the night huddled in the corner of my room, clutching a flashlight and praying for daylight. The man continued to stalk the halls, his footsteps echoing through the empty hotel. I could hear him whispering to himself, and I knew that he was getting closer. As the sun began to rise, I heard a loud knock on my door. I hesitated for a moment, then slowly made my way to the door. When I opened it, I was face to face with the man in black. He smiled a wicked grin and raised his knife. I closed my eyes, bracing myself for the worst. But instead of the sound of metal slicing through flesh, I heard a loud commotion coming from the hallway. The man turned to run, and I took my chance. I grabbed my things and fled the hotel, never looking back. As I drove away, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being followed. I knew that the man in black was still out there, and I couldn't help but wonder if I'd ever truly be safe again. But for now, I was just grateful to be alive.